Hey everybody. So for today's strength, we're going to do 100 lateral raises. The lateral raise can be done with anything. You're going to need to have something in each hand. Normally it's done with dumbbells or a light metal plate or something like that. But just find something with an equal weight that you can hold in each hand, and we're going to do lateral raises. Once again, this is a lot of volume for something like this, so even if it is something relatively light, it's still going to be pretty difficult. We're doing 100 of them. So for the lateral raise, what we're looking to do here is stand with each item in your hands at your side. So the start position is whatever you're holding is touching your legs, or your hands are touching your legs. That's where you start. And then you bring them up to about parallel, so your arms are parallel to the floor, or a little bit higher. You see I'm going a little bit higher here. That's just to ensure I'm hitting the standard every time. I'm going parallel or a little higher. You'll notice there's a slight bend in my elbows. We don't want a big bend in the elbow, but you don't want your arms to be completely straight either. You don't want that pressure to be on the elbow joint. You want to keep it in the shoulder. So that slight bend in the elbow is important. And then we just bring him up and down. Every time you start at the legs and you finish at the objects just at in line with your shoulders, or your arms parallel with the floor, or a little bit higher. Okay? And then we are going to move on to our workout. So we're going to log the strength session, 100 raises for time, and we're going to log that on Beyond the Whiteboard. When we get to the workout, we're doing a Fight Gone Bad style workout. Fight Gone Bad, if you don't know it, is a classic CrossFit workout that involves 1 minute stations. So you're going to do each movement for 1 minute. The whole time in that minute, you're counting your reps. So the first movement is the tuck jump, and you're going to get as many tuck jumps as you can in a minute. Then your clock's going to beep, and you're going to go right to your plank hold. There's no transition time built into this. You go right to it. Any time in transition is reps lost. The plank hold is, the max score you get here is 60, because we're going to count each second as a rep. So 60 seconds the full minute will give you 60 reps. And then the lunge, once again, it's each leg for a rep. So right leg is one rep, left leg is one rep, and it goes on like that. Then we're going to move on to the burpee, just counting each burpee as a rep. Then we take 1 minute rest. So you're going to do 4 movements, 1 minute rest, and then you're going to go right back into it. So when you start round 2, you start at the tuck jumps again. And then round 3 and round 4, just like that. So we're looking at 16 minutes of work plus the 3 minutes of rest that are built into this. So you're looking at a 19-minute workout total. And your score will be your total reps at the end. So adding all of those reps up, and that's what you'll log on Beyond the Whiteboard. So let's take a look at our movements. First, the tuck jump. You're standing, and you're going to load your hips. So what I want you to do is bend at the knees and hips, drop your hands, and then lead with the hands. The hands go up first. Your knees follow your hands. The goal here is to get as high as you can. So that is the standard is kind of gray here, but we're jumping and getting your knees up as high as you can. Knees to the chest, knees to the face, all the way up. I don't want you to link these up. So I don't want you to jump, land, and go right back into the next one. I want you to reset on every one of them. So jump when you land, stand up, then reset your hips, and then jump, bring your knees up, just like you could see me doing here. And those are your tuck jumps. The next movement we're going to do is the plank hold. The plank hold, remember, each second is a rep. You're on your forearms. Try not to put your hands together. Try to keep as tight a position in your abs as you can. Your butt is slightly higher than your shoulders. Legs are long. Feet are a little bit closer than your shoulders, if not touching. And you want to stay nice and tight. The tighter you are in the abs, the less you're loading your shoulders. That's our plank hold. But if you can't quite do that, we can get to the top of the push-up plank position. All that means is your elbows are straight. You're not on your forearms. And you're holding that position. Same principle, nice and tight. In this position, your shoulders will probably be higher than your butt, unless your butt's really big. So that's where we'll be for that. And we're going to hold that. Every second counts as a rep. The next thing we're going to do is the lunge. So the lunge, we're going to take a nice wide, deep step. That back knee does need to touch the floor. That is the standard. And once you step it back up to full extension at the knees and hips, that's 1 rep. So it's down, knee touches, and then step back up. That's a full lunge. So we're going to take a nice, deep, wide step. That front Shin should be perpendicular to the floor. That knee should not be way out in front of the toe. So if you find your knee out in front of your toe, just take a bigger step, nice and wide so you have a stable base, and that's our lunge. The next movement we're going to do is the burpee. We are still in the burpee challenge, so all of these burpees count toward your APL total. Let's get those burpees in. You know this movement is chest to the floor. Jump and clap with your hands over your head, hips and knees extended. Don't half rep these guys. Let's get our chest to the floor. Let's make sure we're jumping on every rep. Let's make sure we're clapping overhead on every rep. So at the end, you're going to have one big number. You can write down 4 numbers at the minute rest each time and then just add all 4 up. And beyond the whiteboard, it will ask you for all 4. But you can also just put a total number in there as well. So your total reps is your score. And that's that. If you have any questions on it, let me know. I'll see you tomorrow.